at your conclusions. Are you against all war?
Well, no, I'm not. I believe in self-defense. I was a member of the military service. I think there are certain times when a country or a person must act in defense.
All right. Now, after 9/11, when we bombed Afghanistan and removed the Taliban government, did you support that action?
I would have preferred, I understood it and supported it in essence, but I would have preferred that the president had gone to the United Nations first and enlisted the world community in an action against terrorism in general.
Why?
Well, because I think that would have heightened the legitimacy of world opinion. It would have placed us in a posture, if you will, of support for the world community, for international law. I understand the desire, certainly, to go strike out as an individual nation or as a combination of nations.
Why would you, as President Farrell, say, I'm going to appoint you president, why would you, as President Farrell, seek the aid of the United Nations when it is your duty to protect American citizens? Now, if they approved of your action, fine, we welcome that. But why would you try to convince anyone outside of the United States that this action was necessary when you have 3,000 of your own dead?
I don't think there was any issue of convincing people. Everybody understood what had happened, and everybody understood.
So why bother then?
Well, why bother is exactly the point. You bother because there is an international order, and if we are going to honor that international order and certainly support the concept of international law and order, then it seems to me you do it the proper way.
Do you believe the United Nations is a fair body that treats the United States and other countries with not deference, but treats them as an equal partner rather than as a threat?
I think the United Nations treats the United States in different ways at different times, as the United States treats the United Nations.
Okay, so would you say at this juncture in our history, the United Nations would be hostile to the United States?
Now?
Yes.
I think the United Nations is disappointed in the United States, as am I, and certainly in the leadership of the United States. I think that were we to support the actions of the United States and the decisions of the Security Council and support the actions of the mandated inspections protocol that's on the ground in Iraq now, we would be standing in league with, arm in arm with the
sure,
the
we would be
United
popular,
Nations.
But the leadership of this country feels that would be dangerous for us.
No,
and I tend to trust them. I may be wrong, but I tend to trust them.
You may be.
When Clinton bombed Milosevic, were you against that bombing?
I would have preferred, and I stated at the time, actually I was in Sarajevo in 1992, and I contacted the then Clinton transition team and asked for U.S. support. Actually, I asked for President Clinton to go to Sarajevo. And I was very much in support of the United States acting as part of a United Nations-sponsored peacekeeping effort. And I would have preferred for the United Nations to send in ground troops.
But they did. The Dutch were there.
Ground troops to protect the people in Kosovo, instead of the bombing.
As you know, if you were there in '92, there were Dutch UN troops there.
There were many UN troops there, yes.
But the Dutch were right in the middle of the Bosnians, and they ran away and led to this massive ethnic cleansing slaughter, a lot like the Rwanda situation. So I'm saying to you, Mr. Farrell,
you're tagging on a couple of things that don't fit. The Dutch turned their eyes away, no question, in Srebrenica, but the ethnic slaughter had gone on long before the Dutch.
True, but they were there then. They could have stopped it then.
And as were the Brits, I believe, yeah.
My point is, if you see this and you know this, you're a sophisticated man, all right? You know they failed in Bosnia, you know they failed in Rwanda.
Why would you in general fail?
The United Nations, yes. Yeah. Why would you put your faith in a body like that when we have 8,500 liters of anthrax missing?
Well, the same reason you put your faith in the United States government after President Reagan lied to us about the Iran-Contra trade of weapons, after President Clinton lied to us about his dalliance with an intern. You understand that there are failings in people and failings in systems, but that doesn't mean the systems are corrupt and shouldn't be given your support.
So you really have confidence in the United Nations?
I do indeed.
You do? All right. So,
certainly in the potential for the United Nations.
We part company there, and I respect your opinion. You were against the Vietnam War, were you?
Yes, I was.
Okay. When Pol Pot slaughtered 2 million Cambodians 3 years after the United States left Southeast Asia, did you say anything?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And what did you say?
I said that Pol Pot was a monster, and he should be brought up on charges in an international tribunal.
It didn't happen, did it?
No, it did not.
Okay. United Nations didn't really do anything, did they?
I don't know what the United Nations did and did not do.
They stood by.
Okay.
Now, the point is, if the United Nations had won in Southeast Asia, and they couldn't because of the corrupt South Vietnamese government, but if they had...
United States, you mean?
United States, I'm sorry. There would not have been the Holocaust in Cambodia.
Well, if the United States had simply eliminated the North Vietnamese government, the North
No, it had
Vietnamese
won
army,
and we had pacified that country and had a U.S. presence in South Vietnam. If we had been victorious and kept the North Vietnamese in their own country, Pol Pot wouldn't have slaughtered 2 million people. That give you pause, sir?
Well, a lot of things give me pause, Bill, but the point is that if the United States were occupying Southeast Asia, that's correct. Pol Pot would not have...
No, even if they were there.
But no, if the United States stood in Eastern Europe, then probably the Soviet Union would have fallen earlier.
My point is this. For every cause, there's an effect, okay?
Okay.
For the peace cause and for the war cause. We don't know what's going to happen in Iraq. We'll be victorious, but we don't know what's going to happen, the repercussions.
That's right.
But you don't know what's going to happen if they don't do anything. And with 8,500 liters of anthrax missing and unaccounted for, I, as an American citizen, don't want to take that chance. Do you respect my point of view?
I understand your point of view.
Do you respect it?
I think you're either being misled, you're misleading yourself, or other people.
You don't believe there's 8,500 liters of anthrax missing?
I don't know that there are 8,500.
Well, that's what your United Nations says.
Yeah, they say that there were 8,500 liters
Correct.
of anthrax there. And Hamad Kamal said that there was anthrax and VX gas and stuff there. He also said it was destroyed. So, and only half of that, of course, was reported. So we have to take a look at what the reality is, as opposed to what both propaganda and educated guesses are. The UN inspectors themselves have said that the U.S. intelligence is garbage, and that they are being sent on wild goose chases.
Well, we'll know in about 3 weeks.
Well, we'll know.
Here's the last question for you. If we're right, and there is the anthrax and all of these weapons that are uncovered, will you apologize?
Apologize? No. I think that what we will discover those anthrax deposits, if they are there, and all the other weapons of mass destruction that are alleged to be there, if we will simply continue to support their.
But you wouldn't, if he goes in and he liberates and all Iraqis are happy and they find all these weapons, you're not going to.
If he goes in and liberates without killing innocent people, without any of our American service people being put at risk,
all right,
without blood being shed, I would say that the same results can be achieved by supporting the inspections protocol. And if we do not succeed, if they do not succeed, then there are ways to step up the response appropriately without a massive invasion that is going to put at risk thousands of lives.
We'll see what happens. This is going to unfold. We respect your opinion, Mr. Farrell. Thanks for coming in. Very interesting discussion. Next, another actor in a very interesting position, Mel Gibson, making a movie about the judge in the case, said to the crowd, the blood of this man is on you and your descendants. That has been accurate.